Hello there, world of tankers, I'm Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about what used to be the most overpowered tier 10 vehicle in the game, the Foch 155. This is a tank that I used to be really scared of when it first came out with the auto-reloading gun. It did 640 damage every shot, and it could deal it in 7.5 seconds, getting out 1200 damage. Now, that is absolutely ridiculous. It had around 3500 damage per minute, and yeah, you don't want to mess with a tank that's not only mobile, has great armor, but also can whip you right off of the game, dealing 1200 damage in a matter of seconds. So that was the Foch. Now, it still does have that auto-reloading gun, but it got tweaked quite a bit. So instead of dealing that lovely 640 damage, well, sadly, it got nerfed to 560. And not only did the alpha damage on the standard get nerfed, it was the high explosives that really changed this vehicle. It went from 960 to 680. That's over 300 damage nerfed off of it, which is a massive amount, especially when you're up against those light tanks where you could have easily cleared a full health tier 10 light tank. Like, let's say you got the butt of a Sheridan or maybe a Vickers Light. You could have cleared a whole Vickers Light in 7.5 seconds. The best out of any tier 10 vehicle in the game clearing tanks, and now, well, you can't do it, which is definitely a big shame. But that does not mean that the Foch is a bad vehicle. So, of course, in today's video, we're going to be getting straight into some gameplay with the Foch, of course, live gameplay as well. Now, one thing I will say that has nothing to do with the Foch in gameplay is the pronunciation of the word. A lot of people always say that it's pronounced Foch, and I don't know why that is. I guess because F-O-C-H, you pronounce it a ch sound. But fun fact for any of you Foch believers out there, it is actually pronounced the Foch, as you would say it in French. So, yeah, just one little fun fact out there for you. I always keep trying to say that in my videos, because it makes me cringe so bad when people call it the Foch. But enough about that, let's get straight into some gameplay here. So you'll notice right off the bat, it's very quick. It's got an excellent power to weight ratio, and it's very able, yes, my English is very able to work today, but it's just great at getting up to its top speed. That's my top speed already, 50 kilometers per hour. So I can get in the position very quickly and contest anybody that I am willing to go up against here. And okay, here we go, already opponents going this way. Now, hopefully I'm not spotted, which I'm not, because of course I have an excellent camouflage rating with this vehicle. Not only do I have a good camouflage rating, but I also have a very accurate gun, you'll notice. Now, there is one big issue. You'll notice that my gun arc is awful. It's like 10 degrees in total, which definitely is the biggest downfall, I will say, of this tank. When you're trying to shoot at people and you can't turn your gun at all, it's definitely a killer, in my opinion. Now, I'm going to try and get off to the side here before, let's say, like, the VK-72 starts to hit me here. We've got that AMX who's right there, and I'm actually going to push... Ooh, we got that WZ aiming just at the side of me there. Let's back up, and let's back up quite quickly. So I'm waiting for that AMX to pull out, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be. We've got the Kampfpanzer right there, who really just wants to get that, we're going to do it. Probably a bad move on my part, but you know what? We got there without being detected. Well, we did get detected, but you know what I mean. So there we go. One nice shot into the AMX, and another nice shot later. Come on, high roll the guy. There we go, and let's see if we finish him off. Oof, that is a bit of a bummer, but we bounced it. Now that means that I can use my excellent mobility on this vehicle and do a little bit of a love tap, which is exactly, well, you know what, I guess it's not what we're going to be doing here. I know that 268's at the back of the map, so I'm not going to try and get hit by him. So let's change position here. Let's pull out to the side where my Kampfpanzer buddy is. I just really don't want to be hit by not only a 268, but as well a VK-72. So I'm going to be pushing my tank off to the side here. There's one nice tap into that VK. And this is, again, where the Foch just becomes extremely deadly, is being able to get out that massive amount of damage. And, you know what? Oof, I thought we could pen that, but it does not look like we're able to pen that. So, we're going to go over here to the side. I don't want this VK to aim at me, so we're just going to push off to the side here. There we go. Now we can back up, and let's get a nice little penetration right in the side. Ooh, 599. Again, this gun is really deadly. Like, even though the tank may not seem super deadly at the moment, it really is super strong in getting out that damage. So already at around 2,300, and we're still racking up in the numbers here. So we got that T55A right in the open, and well, this guy's gonna really be feeling the pain fairly soon. I can't do much right now, but oof, big ammo rack. Finishing you off, and now we have the Object 268 right out in the open. Let's fire a shell right at him, and kaboom. Not sure if it damaged him, I have no clue, but it did damage him, and perfect. So we've already broken 3,000 damage, and you can see, just by this simple game, how easy it is to rack up damage in the Foch. And this is why I still will argue that this is actually one of the strongest tier 10 vehicles in the game. We've got this 268 over here, and yeah, you know, that 268, it could hurt us quite badly, and in fact, I have no clue where he went. You know what, let's try and get a shell into the enemy Foch. Well, looks like we're not doing that either. I have no clue where the enemy 268 actually went. well, looks like he positioned very quickly away from us here. Extremely surprised that that 268 was able to do that, but oh boy, oh yeah, fun. That was not what I was waiting for there. But you know what, this 268, he's probably going to end up to fight my Kampfpanzer here. There we go, KPZ getting a nice shot in, and you know what, if we can help my my KPZ out here, there we go, finishing off him, and all that's left is the WZ-121. So sadly, we didn't get out the most damage there at the last, but we're already at 4,000 damage. Even though, like, it seems like I wasn't getting a lot of damage out there, still, 4,000 damage, like, that is ridiculous how much we've gotten out here. And while this Vickers may struggle a little bit to take out the 121, I'm not super worried, so let's see if we can finish off the 121 here. And on the move, hit in the turret, boom, there you go, decapitating him as well. That was the first game, over 4,000 damage in the Foch, and that's the vehicle for you. So let's get stuck into one more game here, hopefully a pretty solid one at that. So the nice thing about the Foch that I really like is that it's very flexible. It also can be very unflexible, should I say, in certain scenarios, where if you run this tank too aggressive, and that's one thing I'll find myself doing every now and then, is I'll see one tank and I'll be like, oh, I'll go rush him and take him out, and then, oh no, 5 people will be spotted and I'll die. That's one thing I can say the Foch really struggles with, is dealing more than one opponent. It's very weak on the side armor. In fact, the sides are so weak that you can easily high explosive them with any HE from like a 120 or more. I think you can actually get HE in. So yeah, you got to be careful in the Foch not to overextend yourself. But at the same scenario, if you rush the correct person, it is extremely flexible in the fact that it's got armor, it's got a clip, and as well, it's got great mobility. So yeah, I'm not worried too much when I run the Foch, but there are certain games when you run into vehicles like an E3 or a 183 that, oh boy, it definitely hurts quite a bit. So I'm actually going to sit in a tank destroyer position. Now, I did say that it is kind of hard to use it as a tank destroyer, especially because the gun arc is small. But in this spot here, well, it's not the end of the world, as you can see, because my my gun arc doesn't really affect the tank too much. So we got that Yag, and oof, that was a pristine shot all the way across the map into that Yag's weak spot. And doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that again anytime soon here. I'm actually going to push up a little bit further. That way we might be able to get some shots into like that IS-7 in the side there. So we're going to push up to over here, and we're going to see if we can do that. We've also got the 2 and 5B, and there you go, another shot. A little bit of low rolls, but you know what? I can't complain. We're not detected, so that guy, yeah, he's just hitting thin air right there. And again, I'm just going to wait here, wait for my gun to reload its clip, and then I will be extremely deadly once again. So this T-22, oh boy, he's going to have a little bit of fun right up the side of his tank for 520 damage. We also got the Yag pulling out here, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to, oh, you know what? We might. Oh, just hitting the back track wheel. That's always a bummer when you do get that shot. But you know what? Can't complain. Just another 10 seconds later, we'll have another 2 shells out and ready to wreak on havoc on the enemy team. Okay, I'm losing my thought, but you know what? We'll just fire a shot. It's fine. There you go. Another nice tap into that Jagdpanzer. He has no track, which is really going to suck for him because in another 2 seconds here, well, oh boy. Yeah, it's just the Foch. It's crazy at getting out damage. That was 1,000 about, I'd say 1,100 damage there in a matter of 7 seconds. And, well, the Foch, yeah, it's just deadly. It's just super deadly. So now we got the T-22 out in the open, and, well, yeah, again, 591 damage. I can't imagine that T-22 is going to be pushing much more aggressive than that. But, you know what? Let's just finish off the Yag here. Well, I guess not. The easiest shot out of all of them, an HE on the broad side of a barn, and it somehow misses. But over here, I'm noticing that my 57 Heavy is in a bit of a predicament. He's dealing with a lot of stress right now. So you know what's best? Let's go help out. Well, I have a feeling he's going to die. But you know what? He did bounce the shot from the IS-7 here, and we've got the Patton right out in the open. And, well, let's get a nice little tap right into the side of the Patton. Now all we have left is this IS-7. And if the 57 manages to pen his shots on this guy, well, yeah, there you go. IS-7 taken out. So we've already done a pretty swell job at getting at the damage here. And how much damage are we at? We're already at 4,087 damage. And that's just the tip of the iceberg here. We still got the FE2 and 5B who's at, you know, 1,400 health. That's going to be 2 easy shots right in the side of him, which there's one for 475. And one more shot later, bouncing the Mowry. And let's get a nice little tap right into the side of this 2 and 5B. There you go, finishing him off for 588 damage. And now we're at 5,000 damage. Hopefully bouncing this Mowry once again. Come on, dude. You know you want to bounce me, or not even shoot. I'll take 81 damage as a ram. We even caused the Mowry to miss his shell, and in 2-1-0, boom, another 236 damage. And that's the Foch. It's just easy games to get out lots of damage. That was simple, staying at the back of the map, getting out that 5,400 damage. Pretty simple games, and you saw at the beginning, I stayed passive, I got shots across the map. Then, once I knew that the enemy team wasn't really doing great, I pushed it very aggressive, used my mobility, and got out yet again like another 2,500 damage. So, yeah, the Foch is an excellent vehicle. I do think that this is one of the best tanks to grind. I always say that, you know, this vehicle is not really talked talked about much, the WZ-113 GFT, blah, blah, blah. This vehicle is actually still extremely strong. In fact, I would rate this as the top 3 tier 10 tank destroyers in the game, right behind maybe the 268. It is just such a solid vehicle. But other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please make sure to smash that subscribe button down below. But other than that, I hope you're all doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.